Hey everyone, so welcome to my workshop. I am obviously pre-recording this for lots of reasons, but I thought I would introduce some of you because I'm sure there are a few of you watching this that aren't aware that I actually work in this beautiful little cabin. So I have all my paints here. So let me do like a little studio tour. So I have my plants in here, bearing in mind that this is an organised chaos and I am in the process of organising everything. So there's my IKEA trolley. That toolbox, I use that for paints and brushes and things like that, but that's being organised at the moment. Got a lovely weaving from a friend. Oh, it's so gorgeous outside. It's really breezy and sunny. I love it. So this is a table that I work from. It's a relatively new purchase because I did have an old market stall table thing, but I wanted it white, and as I was renovating it, it just wasn't going to plan. So just before lockdown, we found this beautiful table. Look, it's got an iron wrought bit, and on top of here it's actually a door. So the guy that kind of renovated this put a door on top, so I painted it white. So yeah, what else? So I've got all this stuff in the corner that I need to organise. Old drawers here, my filing cabinet over here, which has my journals, watercolours, ink, craft tools, pencils, pens, stencils, stamps, and paper. Hang on, a bit cramped down here, I need to push that in. Right, so without further ado, that is my cabin and we'll move on to the workshop. Right, okay, so I'm going to apologise now if there's any background noise because obviously it's a beautiful day and people are in their gardens, so you may hear that. So let me walk you through the tools and all the things that you're going to need for this and give you some context of what we're going to be doing. So I use these beautiful oracle cards. I use all different kinds of oracle cards, but these ones speak to me the most. I also use cards as journal prompts, so I'll pick a card out to sort of like help me when it comes to journaling. I will also use them as inspiration. So I use all kinds of cards, but I mainly use them for affirmations as well. So what I wanted to do in this workshop is to show you how you can make your own cards. Now, what I would do is write down first how you want to use your cards. What do you want to use them for? So is it for affirmations, intentions, for journaling prompts? So it could be for absolutely anything. Next, you want to decide how you're going to be decorating your cards. Now you can use, depending on what material you're going to be, what medium you're going to be using to decorate your cards with, you can actually use cardboard boxes such as like the boxes that your meals come in, or cereal boxes. So anything that you have to hand, it really doesn't matter. You can also prep them if you do have like a cereal box or something like that. You can prep them with gesso. So I have black here, and you can also use white, but I won't be using that today. You can also use, so here I have some normal cardstock. It's actually textured on one side, and I bought a bulk of this from a craft fair and they were selling them off really cheaply, so I thought I'd give this a go today. And I'm going to be using watercolours, but I'll show you later. Next, you want to measure your cards. So what I did was I have these cards that I got free from a magazine, and what I'm going to be doing is I've taken a card out, measured them on here, so I drew round some of them, and then I cut them out using obviously a ruler and a craft knife. And once they were cut out, I haven't done loads, I've only done a few so far, I used my corner punch to give them a nice round edge like that. And then what will happen is I will carefully undo this box here. So let's just take the cards out. Yeah, you probably guess what we're going to be doing next. So what I'll do is I'll take apart carefully this box here. So I need to undo this, and I will use this as a template, draw around it on a piece of cardstock, cut it out, glue it together, and I could actually decorate it before I glue it together. So I have a box for my cards. You obviously don't have to have a box, and you don't have to have loads of these cards. What you can use them for as well is you could just make one or two with a quote that you love, or basically anything, your word of the year even, and you can keep it in your planner or in your journal or by your bed. So you can, there's so many different things, so many different ways that you can use these cards, but I'm gonna kind of hone in on one, and it's a very easy way to use watercolors and even gouache or even acrylic, and I'm just going to show you now what I've been up to. So I've been creating, I'll show you as well how you can collage, and I'll link to a video that will help you to do that. So I've been creating these circles which I call Serendipity circles. Let me make sure you're all in shot. Move that. Right, okay. Right, so these are called Serendipity circles. I came up with this idea a couple of years ago when I was messing around with watercolors, and I was doing a 100-day project, and I was experimenting with different shapes here, and I was playing around with this idea of blending watercolors and experimenting with colors with a circle. And then I came up with the concept of a spiral. So life is like a spiral. You feel like sometimes you're going around in circles because you keep covering the same ground, when really actually you're making steps and progressing upwards until that situation finally disappears and you go up and up and up. And in the circle I put a saying or a quote or an affirmation, and in this case it's an affirmation, and it's from an old book by a lady called Frances Scovel Shinn. It's a bit of a mouthful to say, and it says, "My world of the wondrous now swings into manifestation, and I enter my promised land under grace." And my word of the year or phrase for this year is Year of Wonders, and I will actually link to my blog post below because I've had so many things coming up with that. So yeah, I'll link to that so you can have a read. But we're going to be doing, I will be doing on one of my cards one of these circles. Now they are really quite easy to do because you can't go wrong, and it is literally an experiment. So if you don't feel that you want to go and like have a go on your card straight away, you can practice these in a journal or on separate pieces of card or paper. Like you can use mixed media paper as well for this if you have it. So this is my Arteza journal, and it's just cartridge paper, I believe, quite thick cartridge paper, and this is using all different kinds of watercolors and my gel pen, ink tents, pencils and crayons as well. What are they called? Neo colours, but they're by that company called, one that I can't pronounce, Karen Nash or something. So anyway, I use these as well, and I'll show you, but you start off very, very lightly so you can barely see the colours, and then you build up the layers, and so it just gives you this depth here. So hang on, I'm just going to shut the door so you can hear. So I think, like with me personally with these circles, what I'm doing is I'm moving up to the big canvas now and creating bigger ones. So it's going to be a bit of a challenge for me to work on a smaller card. Make sure you're in the shot. So before we start, just put that away. Let me just explain what it is that I'm all about and what I do. So I've created on my Patreon, and I'll be doing workshops online as well, so keep an eye out for those. I basically teach about manifesting your dreams, and these cards are just one tool in my arsenal. And this here is called a Dream Life book, which I created for myself a couple of months ago, and I have a guiding quote here that came to me really in an amazing way. If you're in my Make Your Own Magic group, I show you how to do this, and it's basically creating your dream life in one place. So I have all these pictures of my dream life, they all represent something, and then all of this in here is like loads of different studies and writings on all the areas that I want to learn about that link with my vision. And so this whole book will be filled with my dream life. And I have manifested things in my life, such as this cabin where I live now. I mean, it's a really long story, so I won't go into it now because this is obviously a workshop, but it is an amazing journey. So that is why I'm doing this today for Lydia's workshop, because this is just what I'm all about, and it's a fantastic tool. It's so versatile. So you can actually do collage with these. Now let me just show you quickly, I think it's in here, what I mean by collage. Now I'm going to link below to this video where I create these tiny journal pages here, and this is what I mean. So you can transfer this idea onto your cards. So you might, on the workshop details, it might say have, like, if you want to do collage, bits of paper and stuff like that, this is what that's for. So I use loads of elements. I start off priming the page with some paint, and then I just build up the layers, much like I do with the watercolours on the Serendipity circles. So I'll link below, and that will show you how you can create basically a card using this idea. It's just stepping it up, you know, making like a bigger canvas really. So that is those. See how I have writing on each page as well, and you don't have to have that on your card. You can have it at the back if you want, or you can just have one word. I mean, honestly, the sky's the limit. So you just have to decide what you want to do with yours and how many cards you want to make. You can make as many or as few as you like. So let's just zoom you in. What I'll do, I'll start off the process by explaining it for you. Hang on. Then I'm going to speed it up. So, right, get some tissue to hand. This really is all about experimenting. You can get, if you have at home some magazines that you don't mind ripping up, you can literally rip out tiny little pieces and have like a collection of them, put them in a bowl or a pot like I've done here, and build up the collection so that you have all these different pieces of ephemera and pieces of magazine and stuff to create your collage. And another idea is to use colour. So for me, that circle that I created yesterday, that pink one, those colours spoke to me the most. So you can create, each card can be a different colour scheme, a different colour palette, and that will speak to you. So it's almost like colour therapy and colour healing and all that sort of thing. So I'm going to get my cards on the right side. So I need the bumpy textured side up, like so. Now you do want to, this is going to be so weird for me because I'm so used to making them quite big. Right, central. Okay. What you want to do, now let's see, might use a smaller brush, or like this brush here. I might use that one, let's see, just pop them to one side. Right, so you want to get your colours that you're using. I have this palette here. This is a mixture, these are mainly all watercolours, and then a lot of them are artist grade. So some of them are Daniel Smith, some of them are Winsor & Newton. I've got Sennelier, one of those, a couple of handmade watercolours here, and a couple of gouache as well. And then I have this gold that was gifted to me. So I actually put them in, obviously the chakras are in reverse rainbow order. So I decided that's how I would set my palette out, because that's what I'm studying at the moment. So that's the colour order I did that in. And you can also use if you have any cheaper watercolours, like these. So I might leave those to one side, but I really love, I don't know now. Oh, do you know what I know? We'll go for the sort of like the lilacs. So what you want to do is, remember, you want to keep the space in the centre dry. We don't have to, I mean, this is your card, but if you're going to be doing one of these circles, I'll get that Right. So you want to start off with some water. Let's see, wet the card, because you want the colour to be really, really light to start with. So just thinking, yeah, we'll use these. If you have a palette, you can sort of use that to water down your colours, so they're not going to be too it's not going to be too dark. And then be really loose with the brush. That's really difficult for me because I use quite big brushes on a larger circle, so I just have to be a bit careful. So yeah, you're going to build up your layers. So I have that colour there. I want to try and choose maybe a different colour, or a different tone in that colour rather. So we'll use this one. And you don't have to go all the way around either, just drag, like mix it, blend it like that. Then maybe get some more water and go around the edge there. It's very, very, very light at the moment, but remember, you are going to be building up layers. Now I could actually, I've got here these lilacs, but I could go for as well really lovely pink. So this might be a bit bright, but, and just switch off. This is a really, really good mindfulness exercise. You don't rush it at all. Just really, really take your time and enjoy the process. You do get to the point with these circles, I find, that you think, oh my goodness, where is this going? But you do have to just keep pushing on with it, layer upon layer upon layer. Now, when you do layer your colours, depending on what medium you use, be careful you're not going to mix mud. So you do want to dry a layer and then carry on with other colours. That's why I stick to tones and colours that sort of complement each other. So next, let's see. I do like that, so I'm going to carry on with some more of this, remembering that I can layer it up. And now, because it's such a small area, small space, I really love it already. You kind of have to be a bit careful, because you don't want to go out too far just yet, and I'll explain why in a moment. In fact, I'll say now, because as you build up your layers, near the end you want to run your brush around the edge, a wet brush, so it sort of blends it all together. So just keep a space around it at the moment, and as you can see, they're all blending really, really lovely together. I feel that I need to have some in the more. Like that. Don't want to go too far in, and it's very abstract as well. Remember, it's you don't have to keep it abstract if you don't want to, but I like mine to be very loose and free. Now this is where it's going to get a little bit more difficult, because in a second I want to dry this because I'm going to be adding darker colours. I'm going to be a bit braver, and these colours are heavily pigmented as well. So you kind of like, if you like what you've got now, and you add different colours, you might think, oh, I've ruined it, but you don't. You just keep going with it, keep pushing on with it. So let's see. Try, that's not the one, this one here. These are so pigmented. I love these colours though. Oh, look at it, it's gorgeous. So another tip is, you don't want to go all the way around with the same colour and then all the way keep going around. Work on different areas of your circle so that they blend nicely. Now I think I'm going to have to dry this, so just do that now. Remember, you can actually add to these circles as well. I'll show you some pieces of ephemera, so you can create some collage with these. So where did I do that? I did one somewhere in here. So this here, it's not quite a circle, but it has these elements. Can you see it on the camera? So you've got here these are collage pieces. So you can do that, you can add those to your circle. I don't know if I did that anywhere else actually. So you've got this abstract piece here, and I added some collage elements in there. So you can always do that. Remember, experiment, it's your art. Right, so we'll go back in with the water. Remember, it will dry lighter as well. Just love how that looks, really soft, but we are going to be adding some more layers now. So let's see, I really love this moon glow. Usually, oops. Oh, it's so nice. Trust your intuition when you're doing this as well. You'll find that the darker colours will create depth. So let's see, what other colour should we do? Is this the moon glow actually? Which is which? Oh, I haven't written that. Oh yeah, this end one's moon glow. So I think it's going to be time to start running the brush around the edge soon, the circle. I really love how this is turning out. I like quite soft edges. Definitely need to add some more purple. So just listen again to your intuition. Let's see, use this one here. I'll just take my bracelet off. This nice colour here. Oh yeah, this is nice. This will go really well. This will blend well with the darker colours as well. Oh, love that. I feel that I should add just a little bit maybe down in here as well. Oh, let's go. Oh, such a nice colour, both of these. Oh, look at that. Look how deep that is. Oh, so nice. Let's just add some more dark here and some moon glow as well. Really mix it up. Oh, yes. Love that. So much. You can have, obviously, you know, darker areas and then your lighter areas. So you can see, let's get my other circle, hang on. I'll show you what I mean. So, I've applied the rule of 3 here. Is it rule of thirds or 3? And I have sort of these dots, oh god, hang on. So group of 3 here. So it gives, even though it's a circle with the colours and everything, it has that composition still. You don't have to do that at all with the circle, but here I have like the dark here, a dark here and a dark here. It's sort of like 1, 2, 3. And see how I've added a green as well in here, which normally would probably mix mud, but I've been really careful how I've added that. So you can have these really lovely contrasting colours, but also if you have a colour wheel, you can pick your colours according to so like complementary colours, triads and all that sort of thing, or just not even do that, just go for it and play with colours and explore and find out all on your own sort of thing. So let's pull that around here. Oh, I just love how this is turning out. You can use the tip of the brush as well, so this has got quite a pointy tip to it, to create some lines and movement to the circle. This is one of those circles that I get to the point where I think, oh, I don't know if I should add marks to it, because I really love how it is now. And if you feel like that, you know, you certainly can stop and then just start a new circle. don't have to add marks to it at all. So what I might do is let's see, I might stop this one in a minute and then start a new one. I just love what's going on. There's this really unusual colour called Davy's Grey, and it's gouache by, I think it's gouache, yeah, by Van Gogh. Is it gouache? I think it is, yeah. So I might just try and add some of that. It's a really unusual colour. You might not see it very well in this colour, in this circle, but I can use it to add depth in places as well. I feel maybe as well using that rule of thirds, sort of add a bit up here as well. I'm really enjoying that. Right, and then what I'll do is I'm going to one more time go around the edge with the wet brush. Oh, I love that. That's so nice. You can also, if you don't want the white background, you can actually brush over like a really light colour. So you have that. Right, I feel that I might need to just add something a little bit extra. Oh, that one there. What's that? 1, 2, 3. This one up in here. Drag that down a bit. So that is that one. Right, I'm just going to dry it and show you something else you can do. So that's dry. To finish this card off, I feel that it needs something. So what we'll do is I'm going to get is this an indigo? What colour is this one? It is. Oh, it's indigo. Yeah. I'm going to get this indigo, which is a colour that's really speaking to me at the moment. Get really careful that I don't get it everywhere. Dry. I will also add on there, in fact, yeah, no, I'll do it while it's wet now. I'm going to add some gold. I love the gold in the actual circle there. And then what I will do is I will add my word or phrase on there somewhere. So you can also, if you wanted to, decorate the edges. So you could paint those or get a pen of some kind, of like gold pen or gold watercolor, and just go around the outside. But I'm going to do another card and I'm going to show you how to add, well, I'll speed up the process, but I'm going to show you how you can add mark making, but it will obviously be quite a long process, hence why I'll be speeding it up for you.
looking like we're leaving with the wind off the coast of Carolina, caught smiling in the mirror. We hold out for tomorrow, swimming deepest rivers, giving then we borrow, but everyone's a winner. Things are looking up, but we'll never touch the ground. I'm better than I've been as long as I got you around. Lives they open up when you let go of the doubt, when you're rolling deep to deep, when you're captive to the sound of oh, oh, honey, don't you let go of me. Oh, oh, honey, this love is wild and free. Cadence of your voice, all the unexpected joys, elevating off your smile, laughing with me like a child. Every minute is a light, showing us there's more to life. Open hands, arms open wide, choosing to enjoy the ride. Things are looking up, but we'll never touch the ground. I'm better than I've been as long as I got you around. Our lives they open up when you let go of the doubt, when you're rolling deep to deep, when you're captive to the sound of oh, oh, honey, don't you let go of me. Oh, oh, honey, this love is wild and free. Oh, oh, honey, don't you let go of me. Oh, oh, honey, this love is wild and free.
Right, okay, so I think I'm just going to stop there because there are so many you can do and you can explore. But can you see how this circle here, if I just hold this up, very basic, very simple design, just all blended together. No real sort of layers as such. You've just got a few layers there going on, and you can just add your word somewhere in the middle or here. It completely depends on where you want it. And then on this one, obviously you've got loads. I just wanted to give you an example of all the different layers you could create. And then you can use the white pen for highlighting, like that. And then you can actually, if you wanted to, you could use this one to add your words, so you don't even have to see them, but you can use big, like thick black ink or white. You can, honestly, the sky's the limit. Or you can add your word in the center, you can add a phrase or word at the bottom here or on the back. It's completely up to you, and you can create so many of these as well. It's like with the collage elements, what you could do is, I don't know, say you've got maybe some tissue paper or something, or a bit tiny washi's brilliant. You know, if you peel off a little bit of washi, you can tiny bits of washi, sort of layer them up. You can add that, start building layers of collage elements to this bit here, to this one here. So you can add more. So what I'll do is I'll link to the video where I do the collage, and then that will give you an idea of how you can do that on your card. Anyway, I really hope this video, you enjoyed this video, and it has like really got your creative juices flowing and given you loads of inspiration and ideas on how you can create your own inspiration cards. Honestly, like I said, you can do this for so many things: quotes, your word of the year, anything. And remember, these cards, as well as you collect and build them up in different colours, you can turn to them for inspiration in journaling, or just pull a card and then you can just sort of meditate with it if that's your thing, or visualize with it, and you can just use them for just general inspiration. I don't know. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of the workshops this weekend. Or the weekend, it's this week, isn't it? Sorry. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the rest of the workshops. Take care. Thanks for watching. Bye.